The West is as much a cultural invention as a geographical construct, so it's a difficult place to define. In this set of slides, I discuss 5 characteristics that set the region apart. The West's prevalence of public land, most of it federal, has played a vital role in the region's evolution. This pattern of land ownership explains why so much of the West has remained relatively wild. The Bureau of Land Management and Forest Service are the biggest landowners, but the West is also home to considerable tracts of tribal and state property. Public lands certainly aren't immune to development pressures, especially because many are managed under the multiple use doctrine that allows grazing, mining, logging, energy development, motorized recreation, and other human activities. But all of that public land is a major reason why so much of the West is unpopulated. As you move west across the United States, the climate generally gets drier, with the notable exceptions of the Pacific Coast, Cascade Mountains, and Sierra Nevada Range. West of the 100th meridian, irrigation is usually required to support agriculture, and river flows tend to depend on melting snowpack from the mountains. Every western state includes some very arid terrain that is far drier than anything back east, even Washington and Oregon, where the Cascade Mountains cast a stark rain shadow. Another striking feature of the West's climate is the spottiness of the precipitation patterns and the close proximity of wet and dry areas. Another notable feature of the West is its enormous variation in elevation, temperature, precipitation, and therefore ecosystems that are found in a small area. The scorching desert of Death Valley, 282 feet below sea level and the lowest point on the continent, is only 85 miles away from the snow-capped peak of Mount Whitney, 14,500 feet above sea level and the tallest point in the contiguous 48 states. The broad spectrum of elevations, temperatures, and precipitation patterns explains why the West is home to such a varied set of ecosystems and species. In southern Arizona, for instance, the valley bottoms are deserts filled with cacti, but the mountain ranges are 2 miles above sea level and support lush forests harboring moss and mushrooms. This map shows the West's various ecoregions, each of which is a unique ecological neighborhood that supports an impressive diversity of plants and animals, many of them found nowhere else on the planet. The preceding 4 factors are natural ones and are as true today as they were centuries or even millennia ago. But a final human factor is also worth noting. The West's population has been booming for decades. By 2030, the region is expected to be home to a quarter of all Americans, up from essentially 0% in 1830 and 9% in 1930. To be sure, other parts of the United States, such as the South, are also growing, but the steady influx of new residents in the West and their growing demands on natural resources is the fundamental challenge facing the region and a recurring theme in its environmental history. You can download more slides and other resources at ecowest.org.